Hi everyone, this is Eliza. Welcome back to Eliza's Bookshelf. So today I want to go over all the books that I bought in July, and it's a little bit embarrassing because I don't remember which books I bought. That means I just bought too much. So I went through my recent book stats and I picked out the ones that I think I bought last month. So let's see. Some of them I already read, so I'll briefly mention those and then I'll talk about it more in my monthly wrap up. Number one is The 1 Month Boyfriend by Roxy Noor. So this is a spin-off to her main series called the Loveless Brothers series. I did talk about it briefly in another video that I may or may not link down below. But this is about Silas and it's about Kat. They basically work together in the same building, not in the same company, but Kat has the situation with her ex-boyfriend, and in order to make him jealous or something like that, she made a deal with Silas and started this 1 month of fake dating. And what Silas gets out of that is, well, he hates her ex, I think, so that's what he gets out of this. So that's number one. Number two is Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese. So this is number one in the Bergman Brothers series, and I finally gave this a try. People have been raving on and on about this series, and so June I was just in a super romance mood and I wanted to finally read this. This is number one. This is about Willa and it's about this guy named Ryder. They're in college. She's a soccer player. He's like a grumpy, I don't know what he does. He used to play soccer, but I don't know what he's studying now. Anyways, they're in the same classroom and they get up on the wrong foot. He is actually deaf, starting 2 years ago when he had a bacterial meningitis, and she doesn't know, and so there's a big miscommunication there. They hate each other right off the bat, but one of his family members meddles in their relationship and tries to get them together, and they become partners in this classroom assignment. So this was pretty cute. This was number one of the series. I may continue the series when I catch up with all my books. Number three, the third book, is Tessa Bailey's My Killer Vacation. So this is about a girl who goes onto a vacation with her brother to Cape Cod. She plans out this whole vacation for her brother because she's a super nice sister and all that. I think she's like a third grade teacher or something. Anyways, when they go there on their first day, they find a dead body. And so the whole book is about her trying to figure out who this dead body is, who killed him. And then this guy is a private investigator, private detective, whatever. And they kind of work together. Yeah, so I'll talk more about this in my wrap up, but yeah, this is number three. Number four, my next book that I bought is Amy Leah's Set on You. So this was a recommendation by Kaylee from Kaylee's Kawaii Corner. I really liked it. This is the first book that I've read from Amy Leah. Actually, I think this is her debut novel. When I read this book, I loved it so much. I went on Goodreads and tried to figure out what other books she's written, and this is the only one so far. So this is Set on You. This is about a, what is it? She is a body positive fitness influencer, private, what's it called? You know, when you train people, personal trainer. God, I'm so embarrassed. One day she goes to the gym and she's getting ready at her squat rack and she goes to get a drink or something and she comes back and this douchebag stole her rack. So yeah, she really hates him. He's kind of like, what's going on? Who's this girl, right? But it's really cute. Trigger warnings, family death, cancer in the family. So just look up some of those trigger warnings if if that bothers you. Somehow their family ends up mixing together and they're like, oh shoot. I really like this one. There is an upcoming second book that plays off of one of the, I think it's her sister. And I'm really excited to see that one, but it comes out in 2023, so we'll see. I really like this one, so thanks Kaylee for this recommendation. Number five is Love and Gelato. So this is one of my Bookstagram's reading club books picks. What a mouthful. So this is one of the book picks from Bookstagram that they were reading for the month of June. They were reading this and then Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. And so this is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This one I've seen like for years and years at Target. I remember years ago when I lived in Fresno, I always saw it at Target. I never really picked it up. I guess it never intrigued me too much, but they picked this for one of the books of the month, and so I finally bought it and read it. Because they were making a movie out of it. I had no clue that it was because a movie was coming out. I was just like, yeah, I'll read it, sure. And then they started talking about the movie on Netflix. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Anyway, so Love and Gelato, it's about this girl who lives in the United States. Her mom is dying from, I forgot what type of cancer, pancreatic cancer, I believe. One of her mother's wishes is that she goes to Italy for a summer or something like that. A summer or the rest of her life, I don't know, for a while, so that she can experience Italy as her mom did when she was younger, because it just changed her life. And so she goes to Italy, she meets, you know, close friends of her mother's, and yeah, I think it's a lot about finding yourself, trying to figure out who you are, but I'll talk about this more on my monthly wrap up. I have some thoughts here. Okay, so those are the books that I already read. I am going to go over some of the books that I bought that I have not read yet and that I should read before I buy any more books. So let me just count how many books I have left. I have 8 books that I bought that I have not read yet. So let's go over it one by one. So this is one that I've seen all over, you know, Book Talk, whatever, Bookstagram. It's Elena Armas's The Spanish Love Deception. And the second book is coming out later this year, I believe. That one is called The Roommate Something Experiment. I'll put the picture up here. Anyway, so I've been seeing this everywhere. I don't exactly know what it's about, but I think there's some sort of fake dating in there. I remember reading a quote on Bookstagram with a guy saying, I'll be your boyfriend for a while. So I just love fake dating romances. But there is a pre-order incentive for the second one. If you pre-order it, then you'll get like bonus chapters from this book in his point of view. But let's see, a wedding in Spain, an infuriating man, 3 days to convince her family she's actually in love. Yeah, so fake dating vibes there. I think a lot of people love this and it's been getting a lot of buzz, but I also heard a lot of people say that it's overrated. So we'll see. Okay, the other book is The Stand-In by Lily Chu. This is also recommended by Kaylee from Kaylee's Kawaii Corner. She told me a little bit about it and I was like, that sounds like something I'd be interested in, and I bought it. But I don't exactly remember what it is exactly from my recollection, and I can totally be wrong, is that this girl resembles a Korean pop star or something, and then she meets this other Korean pop star and then they fall in love. He thinks that she is someone who she's actually not. Something like that. It reminds me of those movies that I watched when I was a child. I forgot which movies, but there were a couple, you know, where they switch places with a famous person. Now I want to look it up and start watching it again. But anyway, so this is Stand-In. It kind of reminds me of Korean pop world, BTS, whatever. I think I'll like it because she recommended, what is it, Set On You, and I loved it. So we'll see. All right, the next one is Hannah Whitten's, and I already lost count how many books that I bought, but anyways, the second one, or the next one, is Hannah Whitten's For the Throne. I already read number 1, For the Wolf. I actually did not know this book was coming in this past month. I thought it was coming in later in September or something, but I got it in the mail. I was pleasantly surprised. This is For the Throne, the second book in the series. The first book, you follow, you know, the second daughter who had to be sacrificed to the Wilderwood. And this book is about the older daughter, the first daughter, and her life, because at the end of book 2, spoilers, the end of book 2, she's like in trouble, she's lost somewhere, I don't know, we're trying to find her in this book. So I'm super excited for this one. I love it. Okay, so let's see, next book is The Wolf Den. So this is one of the first books that I bought in June. I heard that it is kind of like a Greek mythology retelling, but following one of the lesser known characters, so I love that. I also heard mixed reviews about this one. Some people loved it, some people did not like it so much, but I'm excited to get into more of Greek mythology because I haven't read much or any in the past. But this cover is beautiful, I'm not gonna lie, part cover by. Yeah. Okay, so this one next is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. So also one of the first books that I bought in June. I was in a super science fiction mood because I read, you know, Project Mail Harry, I read Recursion, and I loved it, and I was like, what else is out there for science fiction? This is about an artificial friend, or a robot. I'm thinking robot, an artificial friend who's like, I imagine in shops and stuff like that, and people can come by and shop for a friend. And so this artificial friend is in the store waiting for someone to buy her or pick her, you know, choose her, and finally someone does, and you kind of get into like, you know, artificial, what does it mean to love, that sort of thing. That sounds super amazing. It's kind of a short book, but the font looks a little bit small, so it's probably a regular size book. Anyways, I'm excited to read this whenever I can. All right, Next book is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I talked about this briefly in the mid-year freakout tag, but basically in this book you have this nanny who babysits this 5-year-old guy, kind of like a live-in nanny, and everything's going great. You know, they're feeding her, she has a place to stay, she's getting paid, until one day the kid starts drawing creepy ass, you know, cartoons and stuff like that, and drawings, and at first she brushes it off, but eventually she's like, this looks like a storyline to some sort of murder, and the forest looks like the forest back here in the backyard. The cover has this person shoveling something. I don't know, it's crazy, it looks crazy, but I'm excited to read this one. Next we have The Stardust Thief. This is my book of the month pick for last month. I get a lot of like Aladdin vibes with a bunch of found family tropes. We have this thief, I believe, who got in some trouble with the Sultan. Now the Sultan is trying to rope her in and get her to find this magical lamp. You know, super Aladdin vibes. Anyways, so she's trying to find this lamp. There's a lot of people coming with her to help her. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I hope I like this because I also heard mixed things about this one. I try not to listen to what other people say, but you know, sometimes I just watch too many YouTube videos. Hi guys. Last but not least, because I'm actually super excited about this one, is Hide by Kristen White. Kirsten White sounds familiar. I don't know if I have any other books by her. I imagine like a group of people going into a carnival area or an amusement park, and people start dying. A lot of horror aspect or paranormal. I'm not too sure. I think that's what it is, but it looks super creepy. You have a Ferris wheel here. You have roots, scary ass roots. I don't know. I am super excited to read this one. I may read this one in the next month. We'll see. I've been reading a lot. Okay, so actually that wasn't so bad. I bought 13 books, which is a lot more than I usually would buy. Booktube has influenced me a lot. I ain't mad about it, but I need to stop spending. So out of the 13 books, I've read already 5 of them. So I need to catch up on my reading game before I buy more. In July, I am planning on not buying a single book except for my book of the month purchases and then my Bookish box subscription. So after that, no book buying. I'll let you guys know how I do. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.